Lim's Tales from Shakespeare. The Tempest. Porcipro and his daughter Miranda are sitting side by side on the shore of a small island staring out at the sea. Porcipro is an enchanter who is wearing his magic cloak and holding his magic staff with his magic book by his side. They are the only two people on the island. They live in a cave divided into separate rooms. One of the rooms is Porcipro's study, where he keeps his books of magic. A storm is raged far out at the sea. The lightning is flashing and the thunder is crashing. A small ship is being tossed about in the churning sea. Screams come from the sea as the sailors leap into the water away from the sinking boat. The ship slips beneath the waves as the tempest subsides, and the sea is calm once again. There is no sign of the sailor trying to swim to the shore. Miranda clutches her father's arm on horror as she looks helplessly out to the sea. The survivors of the ship make their way to shore. Porcipro, the former Duke of Milan, and his beautiful daughter Miranda have been stranded on the island for 12 years. Porcipro's brother Antonio banished them to the island long ago, so that he could have the dukedom. Thanks to Antonio's elder advisor and Porcipro's friend Gonzalo, Porcipro and Miranda were able to survive and now have made their home on the island. Porcipro is still seeking revenge for what his brother once did to him, sends Tempest to sink the ship carrying his brother, the King of Naples. The king had also been involved in the plot to remove Porcipro. Along with the two of them, the king's brother and sons, Sebastian and Fernand, also survive the tempest, but Porcipro's bride servant, Ariel, separates Fernand from the others. This causes a confusion among the party. The King of Naples thinks that Fernand is dead, and Fernand thinks that his father is dead, much to the delight and the blame of Porcipro. After the crew is washed ashore, Porcipro and Miranda go to visit Caliban, the son of witch Sycorax. Sycorax had been the ruler of the island before Porcipro arrived. She had been banished to the island from Algiers and had had Ariel imprisoned in a bean tree from not obeying her commands to do evil deeds. When he arrived, Porcipro freed Ariel and enslaved Caliban. Meanwhile, on the other part of the island, Fernand is mourning the loss of his father, when suddenly he hears a strange music. He is magically drawn to the song as Porcipro and Miranda watch him from a distance. Miranda is overjoyed and in love with the beautiful Fernand. When he finally sees the two of them, he believes that Miranda is a goddess, and that the enchanting music he heard earlier drew him to her side. He immediately asks Miranda to marry him. Porcipro is delighted and agrees to release Ariel from his service if the marriage occurs. Nevertheless, Porcipro thinks that he must first prove that Fernand is worthy. He tests Fernand's love by making him his temporary slave, much to the disapproval of Miranda. On the other part of the island, Alonso, the King of Naples, is grieving for his son Fernand. Gonzalo tries to comfort him when sleep overtakes them both. Sebastian and Antonio see the two men asleep and plot to kill Gonzalo and the king. They want the kingdom for themselves. Just as they are ready to kill the sleeping men, a gentle sound of singing awakes them. Porcipro orders Fernand to chop wood and put the logs on a pile. Porcipro tells him that in return for Fernand's service, Porcipro would allow him to see Miranda again. Miranda later comes to talk to Fernand while Porcipro watches from behind the tree. He is pleased with what he sees. He knows that Fernand is an honorable man, and that he will give Miranda the life she deserves. After that, he goes in search of the king and the others. He initially sends them a table laden with food and drink, but before they can eat, he takes it away. Ariel warns them that they were being punished for what they did to Persipro 12 years ago. The king, his brother, and Antonio being feel sorry for what they had done. Satisfied that he has received his revenge, Persipro sends Errol to bring the men to him. He dresses in the robes he used to wear as the Duke of Milan. Once everyone sees him in his robes, the king kneels down and apologizes for his actions. Persipro ignores his request, rushing to his old friend Gonzalo to thank him for all he had done for them in the past. After that, Persipro forgives his brother and the king, and reunites the king with his son Fernand, who is playing chess with Miranda. Fernand then introduces Miranda to his father, who is pleased that his son has found a fine wife. In the end, everyone is happy to know that all of the sailors are alive, and their ship has been saved from the Tempest. Once again, Persipro becomes the Duke of Milan, and Miranda is given her own title, the Princess of Milan. Remaining true to his word, Persipro sets Errol free, and throws his magic books and stuff into the ocean, never to use magic again.